This is the Dewalt DWS780. It is their top-of-the-line double bevel sliding compound miter saw. I think I got all of those adjectives in the right order. If not, I will put a text correction up on the screen here. But in case you don't know what all of that means, it means it can rotate side to side for angled cuts, but it can also tilt side to side, so you can combine those to cut pretty much any angle you can think of. It can also slide forward, so you can get a much longer or deeper cut than you would with a normal non-sliding miter saw. Now, to be clear, this saw is huge. It is overkill if you are just cutting 2x4s. I like it because if you are building something large like a treehouse or a deck, the sliding feature is actually long enough to cut all the way through a 2x12. I have a rather overbuilt treehouse that I made with 6x6 posts and 2x12 beams, and it's actually even big enough to cut almost all the way through the 6x6 posts. I think there was just a little, maybe a quarter or half inch of wood left that it didn't cut through, so I had to flip it over or just hand cut off that little bit. But it can cut really large pieces of lumber that you wouldn't be able to do with a smaller miter saw. The trade-off, again, is that it's huge. Because of that sliding feature, it has these bars sticking out the back, and then even more if you're going to have exhaust hooked up to a shop vac for the dust, although I could have put a 90-degree bend on there to save a little bit of space. So if you just have a normal, say, 2-foot depth workbench where you could fit a smaller miter saw, it's not going to fit at all because of all that stuff sticking off the back. You can optionally get this really nice metal stand for it, which is portable if you're taking this out to a job site, and has these built-in extendable guides, so you don't have to set up separate sawhorses if you're cutting a really long piece of lumber. So I like this because it is metal and doesn't take up a lot of floor space or footprint like a workbench might, so there's a lot of space to store stuff under it. I put my mower deck under there in the winter when I swap the plow blade on for plowing. So again, you can kind of see, I'm not going to bother getting out a tape measure, but it definitely sticks maybe closer to 3 or 4 feet off the wall as opposed to just the 2-foot depth you would have with a normal workbench. So if you want this as a permanent setup in your garage as opposed to just something mobile for a job site, you got to make sure you have the space budget for it. One nice feature that DeWalt touts as better than a normal laser sight is this XPS cross-cut position system, where I turn that on, and instead of giving me a laser sight, it actually projects light down from both sides of the blade, so it shows you the shadow and exactly where the blade is going to be. And if I try to zoom in here, you can even make out kind of the different spots of thickness where the teeth are versus just the body of the blade. So for judging the width, you actually want to judge based on the teeth, since that's going to be the actual width of the cut. But that's kind of nice because it always tells you, at least in theory, exactly where the blade is going to be, and DeWalt claims is better than a laser sight, which could become misaligned. The other nice thing about that sliding feature, if you're like me and you do not have a table saw, is it actually gives you enough travel to do short rip cuts sometimes. So, and maybe this isn't the ideal or proper way to do this, but I don't have a table saw, and I can even make longer cuts by doing one. Again, this isn't ideal or going to be perfectly aligned, but say if I had a 2-foot long 2x4 here, I could rip one way, then flip it over and rip the other way and do up to close to around a 2-foot rip cut. Same thing with, say, if I have a sheet of plywood like this and I don't have a table saw and I don't want to bother setting up my guide with a circular saw, which is a little more work, I can just pop it on here and again cut in 2 different directions and actually cut through something that's up to 2 feet wide. So again, if you have a table saw, you would probably just use a table saw for that, or you might say you should just suck it up and set up the guide in the circular saw. This is kind of a lazy way to do it, but I figure I have the giant saw, so I might as well make use of it for stuff like that. I guess one electrical note, since this thing is huge, it does draw a lot of current. I managed to trip the breaker a few times when I was cutting through those 6x6s a little too aggressively. So if you are cutting through really thick pressure-treated lumber, just go slow and be prepared to maybe trip the breaker if you do that too fast. My one kind of bizarre quality complaint, if you look at this little plastic thing down here, you see that little cutout spot? When I first unboxed this and tested it, I saw that the blade was hitting that. And that seemed really strange. Like, I didn't know if I had done something wrong because I didn't assemble this. It all came assembled, or if it was a manufacturing defect or something. And I searched online and found a couple other complaints about the same issue at the time. and some grumbling about how Dewalt had been bought out by Black & Decker and the quality had dropped and this was clearly a design flaw and everything. So I really did not feel like boxing up and returning this giant saw. I got it as a gift if that was the only flaw, especially if that is kind of an inherent flaw in the design, and if I got a replacement it was just going to be the same thing. So that is just this one little tiny issue on what otherwise is a really nice saw. It's just kind of this bizarre dimensional design flaw where either this piece is a little too big and, you know, they should have had more of a gap there, or maybe something with the guide back here, the slide is coming slightly farther forward than it should. Tongue twister there. Don't know either way, but I just kind of bit the bullet and decided, okay, I'm just going to pull it all the way forward and cut that little bit of plastic off, and then it was fine. So that's it. Again, this saw is big. It is more expensive, kind of top of the line miter saw, but if you have the space and you need to cut bigger lumber and you don't have a table saw and you don't like having to set up a guide for a circular saw for cutting that bigger stuff, I think it's worth it. So if you disagree or think I'm an idiot or have complaints about the quality, like if you own the saw and you had this same issue, go ahead and leave a comment. If I get any useful updates or anything, I will pin those in the comments, so be sure to go check that out. Thank you.